So, an introduction into retro shirts is what is retro shirts? Retro shirts is a retro and modern day sportswear clothing company that is a third party reseller of retro sportswear and modern day sportswear. This consists of sports jerseys from past decades like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And the modern day sportswear are from brands like Nike, Puma, of like the more recent up and coming kits that clubs have released. And this tailors into all sports, consisting of football, cricket, rugby, Aussie rules football as well. Um, we're really looking to expand the big market on already football shirts, and expanding that into different sports and also into different countries as well. Retro Shorts sells sports shirts, tracksuits, and accessories. So these consist of jerseys, from modern eras and also from retro eras as well. The appeal of this is to combine nostalgia, fashion, and sports fandom. The brand intends to expand its success in the UK into India, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. Now, the brand has already been successful in the UK, um, and we look to sort of expand into untapped markets in India, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. So, a brief introduction to our marketing analysis is that the global retro sportswear trend is becoming bigger and bigger. There's rising worldwide demand for retro sportswear as fashion meets fandom. So, there's a lot of people wearing these sportswear for support of their favorite players or eras of teams, but also there's a factor of fashion. People may be wearing them out in public, to sporting events, also to things like music events and stuff like that. It's become really, really, really popular. So people like to live on the nostalgia of that era. Also, a lot of celebrities have been seen wearing a lot of retro gear. So it's important that understanding that viewers of this want to see themselves as sort of similar to their own celebrities. So that might enhance them to wear it. And social media enhanced growth of wearing retro sportswear and sort of increasing sort of opportunities to wear it is a massive factor of that too. So in each specific country, obviously in in India, the cricket sport is absolutely massive over there. Has driven huge fan bases for eternal moments and stars. So many stars that people in India look up to in the cricket scene would be like obviously like to be like the role models and wear those products. Australia there's a two-dimensional focus, as I previously mentioned, on rugby and cricket, um, of adults buying into the culture. Also, Aussie rules football, another really popular sport in Australia. People would like to obviously wear their products as well. In Saudi Arabia, we know that the football madness, obviously, with a lot of money being enhanced over that part of the country, attracting big football stars, has fueled sort of rising disposable income and youth power as well. Um, so yeah. So retro shirts positioning statement. So we have to have a look at the target audience. Our primary target audience is 18 to 34 years old, covering both male and female consumers. Now, this might change dependent on the country, but this is just an overall look at the business as a whole. This age range includes both Gen Z and millennials, two of the most influential and fast forward demographics today. These groups are digital natives, highly active on social media and trend conscious, making them ideal for sportswear, and buying these products. The audience is passionate about sports, athletic culture, and retro fashion. They appreciate the history and nostalgia of sports, often celebrating iconic moments. A look of our USP, which is our unique selling point, is that we are licensed. We have license with collaborations with India, Saudi Arabia, and Australia's top sporting leagues, ensuring exclusive access to authentic, modern and retro sportswear. So this is not only the products, but we also have licensed collaborations, meaning that we can attend different sporting events and being able to sell our clothing there. Um, this is really promising in helping us to be able to build a fan base, to really gel and have some business loyalty as well to our business. Our brand promise is that Retro Shirts promises to have fully authenticated sportswear. And this isn't just authenticated by ourselves, this is authenticated by third party specialists as well. Um, so people have a second eye to look at essentially if the sportswear is authentic and it's not just done by ourselves. So people can have some trust to the brand.
Okay, SWOT analysis for retro shirts, starting with strengths. Authentic niche product offering focused on vintage and one of a kind sports shirts and memorabilia. It appeals to dedicated fans and collectors. E-commerce know-how, highly developed digital infrastructure and marketplace format similar to eBay, with an optimal setup for selling and purchasing sports clothing. This is particularly helpful for retro shirts as a primarily online-based company. Having an online setup which is very easy to use is massively beneficial, as it means no customers will be off-put by using our website. Global scalability. The platform is designed to scale internationally, having multi-language and multi-currency support. This is vital because as we expand into 3 different countries, they all have different laws and legislations and languages, and therefore having this setup that allows us to operate in these countries is essential and a massive benefit for us. Strong sports cultural appeal captures growing fast excitement for retro fashion and retro team wear. This is because a major upcoming trend is retro sportswear, and therefore our company, which specializes in retro sportswear, is going to corner that market, and it's a massive strength for us. Onto weaknesses. Low brand recognition in new markets. Being a new player in Australia, India, and Saudi Arabia, retro shirts lacks familiar recognition. This is a weakness as right now we are a major household name in the UK, and therefore people are already aware of us. So this is a potential weakness for us as we move into these new countries. We need to work on our product awareness. Dependence on third-party sellers. Product quality and shipping time can vary depending on marketplace design. This is a potential weakness for us right now as we are expanding into these 3 countries. We don't already have the infrastructure set up, and therefore something that we need to work on. Otherwise, it has the potential to hinder us, as we'd have to pay more for shipping and the local laws of the land. Okay, and then the limited offline presence, inability to have a physical store may decrease trust in certain countries, especially Saudi Arabia. This is the reason we say especially Saudi Arabia, as from research that we've done, we have found that people in Saudi Arabia prefer to have a physical store that they can enter, and therefore us not having a year-round physical store may be a potential weakness. However, to combat this, we do pop-up stores. So at local sports events, we sometimes do pop-ups, and which will showcase our clothing range, and therefore that is a way we've tackled this weakness. Our first opportunity is expanding sports fandom worldwide, growing popularity of football, cricket, and basketball in every target market. This is a huge opportunity for us as we're a sportswear company. The rise in popularity of sports is going to do a good thing for our business. Mobile social media adoption. High levels of mobile penetration and use of apps like Instagram, WhatsApp, and Snapchat favour digital campaigns. This is massive for us because we do not have a year-round in-person store, physical store, and we're mostly online business. Having a strong social media presence is vital for building consumer awareness, and therefore the high use of social media in these countries gives us a large opportunity to find new consumers. Sportswear and influencer collaborations. Collaborating with local sports personalities can drive brand credibility and engagement. This is another opportunity for us as we already have sportswear and influencer collaborations in the UK. We can use those connections to network with these people in Australia, India, and Saudi Arabia, and therefore find sports people that will represent retro shirts will give us an easy way to create brand awareness. Transmedia storytelling, engaging with fans by using interactive stories across various platforms, enhances emotional attachment and loyalty. There's links in with the online presence thing, as we will have a strong online presence, and we'll be posting stories of upcoming drops we're doing, deals and whatnot, and therefore having this presence will just give another way consumers can see what it is that we do. On to the next section, threats. Current rivals, current rivals, competitions from platforms like StockX, local sellers, and unauthorized vendors. This is a huge threat, as there are already companies out there which do a similar thing to us, not to the same extent, but are doing similar things, and therefore we do risk losing market share to these companies if we don't take stock of them as a threat and see what we can do better than them and how we can be better. Risk of counterfeiting. So we do authenticate every product that we do, but this takes time, and therefore there's a risk that we could sell something that isn't authentic. So we have to spend a lot of time and money making sure everything meets the right standards. Cultural and regulatory hurdles, missteps in marketing or non-adherence to local customs, particularly in Saudi Arabia, might result in pushback. This is because each country has its own set of laws and customs that we would have to adhere to, and especially Saudi Arabia is quite strict with what is allowed to import and export, and therefore we would have to spend quite a bit of time making sure we meet these regulations. On to the segmentation analysis of target groups. This is for India. So, to effectively reach international audience in Australia, India, and Saudi Arabia, it's essential to segment consumers based on demographics, psychographics, behavior, and geography. Here is a segmentation summary by country. So for India first, the demographics we're going for is male and females aged 18 to 34, rising middle class, mobile phone users who are active in the online presence. The psychographics, critic fanatics, emergent interest in football, ISL or EPL, value deals and brand reputation. Behavior, high engagement on WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, peak mobile phone usage. We want people who are active online and will therefore see our products and our advertising. For geography, we're going to major metros Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Tier 2 cities, Jaipur, and Pune. I think I said them right. We've gone to these because they're global hubs in India and have a massive population and a massive population of sports fans as well. And therefore, we believe that it will be an effective place to target with our expansion. Segmentation analysis of target groups, this target group being Australia. The demographics of people we're trying to reach are men aged 18 to 34, middle income in high urban concentration. The psychographics are very active sports fans, Australian rules football, rugby, cricket, high online purchase behaviour and value authenticity and collector culture. This is very relevant in Australia, as there's a lot of people who are sport fans who enjoy collecting sports memorabilia, and therefore trying to pinpoint these people and sell to them, it will be a massive benefit for us. The behaviour we're looking for is a heavy usage of Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for sport information and merchandise discovery. This is because we operate in all these platforms, and therefore we want to target people that also use those platforms, and we'll see what it is that we do on there. And the geography are targeted in urban centres like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. These because they have a high population and a high population of sports fans as well, who will all be interested in our products. Segmentation analysis of target groups, this target group being Saudi Arabia. The demographics are 16 to 34-year-old males, high disposable income, and digital natives. This is because 16 to 34-year-old males have been pinpointed by us as the highest percentage of sports fans, and therefore would be most likely to interact with a sportswear company. Psychographics include football enthusiasts of the Saudi Pro League, EPL, La Liga, value conscious about prestige and exclusivity. This is because we have authenticated products, all of our products are authenticated, and therefore we want to find the consumers that care about having authentic products from these competitions such as Saudi Pro League and La Liga and all that. The behaviour, high usage of Snapchat, Instagram, and X, and engage with branded content. This is once again because we operate in all of these online platforms, and therefore we want people who are also on these platforms that will see our posts. And the geography of urban cities like Riyadh, Jeddah, and Daman will be targeted for setting up research in Saudi Arabia. This is because these are all of the highest populated cities in Saudi Arabia, and therefore will have the biggest target market for us to reach. Onto the perceptual map of retro shirts and its competitors. I've placed retro shirts in the top left quadrant because it offers the best value in the market, delivers highly authentic and nostalgic memorabilia at an accessible price point. This makes it ideal for passionate sports fans who want genuine without paying luxury markups. It's positioned as a brand that combines trustworthiness, affordability, and emotional appeal, the sweet spot in the market. StockX sits at the top right quadrant because it's known for authenticity and exclusivity, but at a premium price. While they verify products thoroughly and cater to collectors who demand rare items, this makes them less accessible to budget conscious fans. Their value lies in luxury and limited items appeal rather than affordability. The group in the bottom right is because they charge mid to high prices but often fail to deliver on authenticity. These shops sell unlicensed or generic items that may look like the real thing but lack collector value. Customers often overpay for what is essentially low quality merchandise. And then local sellers fall into the bottom left quadrant. They typically offer cheap items, but authenticity is uncertain. These platforms don't have value verification processes, so while the prices are low, buyers take a risk, especially collectors who care about provenance and originality.
Our campaign is focused on launching into three international markets: India, Australia, and Saudi Arabia. Retro Shirts is a platform where people can buy and sell vintage and retro sportswear, from classic football shirts to rugby kits, cricket shirts, and more. The aim of this campaign is to build awareness, trust, and platform activity in each country, using a mix of digital content influencers, partnerships, pop up events, and loyalty driven engagement. While the brand message stays consistent, the approach in each market is tailored based on local sport culture, platform preference, and audience behavior. The campaign is driven by four core objectives: growing app downloads, building strategic partnerships, encouraging repeat use through loyalty, and generating wide scale digital engagement through influencers and giveaways. What follows is a breakdown on how we'll deliver this campaign through a clear strategy, targeted platform use, and strong execution, both online and in person. We have created four SMART objectives for our campaign so that we can hit four realistic and measurable targets for each of our target markets. The first objective is to launch a Retro Shirts app in India, Australia, and Saudi Arabia with built-in loyalty program and reach 10,000 installs in each country within the first 3 months. The second objective is to secure partnerships with at least four cricket leagues in Australia and India by August 2025, and a total of 10 branded pop-up stores at live matches to sell shirts and exclusive player-worn shirts. Third one is to build a combined following of 100,000 across Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook in India, Australia, and Saudi Arabia by December 2025, maintaining a 10% average engagement rate across the campaign content. Finally, we will run paid campaigns with a total of 15 influencers, 5 per country, generating a combined reach that at least 2 million impressions and 100,000 engagements across platforms by the end of the campaign. Each of these objectives has a clear purpose, looking at the brand's digital growth, partnership with leagues and pop-up stores to raise brand awareness, and raising awareness online through the use of influencers and increasing engagement on our social media platforms. Retro Shirts will use 5 key campaign strategies that will help us meet our objectives. We will first use multiple micro-influencers to help increase brand awareness. Micro-influencers are influencers who have between 10,000 and 100,000 followers on social media. On platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, this type of influencer has been seen to outperform mega and macro influencers due to their audience having more trust and a closer connection to the influencer because of their authenticity. Retro Shirts would find micro-influencers that have a target audience in a specific sport and give them the freedom to promote our service and app by sending them vintage shirts that are sold on the app so that they can make content with it. Through these posts, Retro Shirts will increase traffic to its platform with community-driven engagement across each target market. We will also work with high-profile athletes to run large-scale giveaways that instantly boost reach and credibility. These celebrities will be selected based on their relevance to sport and fashion culture, with a focus on figures who have international appeal or strong followings in our target markets. Giveaways will include signed vintage shirts, exclusive bundles, or limited edition collaborations. Unlike influencer promotions, celebrity-led campaigns grab mass attention and can create viral spikes in brand visibility. Retro Shirts will use these activations to drive app downloads and rapidly grow brand awareness among both casual fans and collectors. Alongside our influencer strategy, we'll focus on positioning Retro Shirts products as ideal for active wear, particularly in gym and training settings. Many vintage shirts are breathable, unique, and stand out compared to typical gym clothing. Our campaign will include content and messaging around using retro kits as part of workout routine or fitness lifestyle. This taps into a growing trend where gym goers value both comfort and style and gives us a strong niche to push into beyond just sports fans and collectors. Retro Shirts will run branded pop-up stores at major live sporting events in collaborations with local leagues. Pop-up stores at these events are used in the fashion industry to be able to reach new audience and tap into new markets. It is generally low cost and a use of buzz marketing, which generates excitement through word of mouth for a campaign. These partnerships will allow us to sell player-worn or league-branded shirts at matches. India is one of our core markets, and the platform we'll focus on here is Instagram, which remains one of the most widely used apps among Indian audiences, particularly men aged 18 to 35. The campaign in India will be anchored around celebrity shout-outs and giveaways, using the reach and credibility of recognized athletes and personalities to create instant awareness. With an unlimited budget, we'll collaborate with current or former cricket stars, figures like Axar Patel or Hardik Pandya, who have a national following and strong personal brands. These celebrities will either give away shirts they've worn or signed on the app to gain attraction and excitement, or post about using the platform themselves. Their content might include stories, short-form reels, or static posts promoting exclusive shirt giveaways or highlighting unique pieces available on the platform. This kind of top-down endorsement quickly builds legitimacy, especially in India's influencer culture, where celebrity associations hold major sway. We'll support these posts with paid promotions and app download links, using them as a way to introduce retro shirts to new audiences who already trust the figure promoting it. To further support the rollout, we'll partner with local cricket leagues such as the Delhi T20 and organize pop-up stores at live matches, offering in-person engagement with fans. Visitors can scan QR codes to access the app, see vintage stock in real life, and take part in giveaway tie-ins linked to the celebrity campaign. Together, these strategies give retro shirts high visibility and strong credibility in a cricket driven, content hungry market. In Australia, our campaign will centre around TikTok and YouTube Shorts, which are the most engaging platform for younger audiences who are active in sports, gym, and lifestyle communities. These platforms favour short-formed, personality-led content and suit the relaxed tone we want to take when promoting the brand. Australian micro-influencers will be encouraged to create content that reflect how they genuinely wear vintage sportwear, whether that's gym vlogs, opening our vintage packages online, or nostalgic storytelling about their favourite teams or shirts. The key is that content feels informal and personality driven, not overly polished. This approach will appeal to the everyday sports fan and align with how users typically engage with content on these platforms. What makes Australia unique is variety of mainstream sports such as cricket, rugby league, rugby union, AFL, football, and even basketball have strong fan bases. This gives us the opportunity to work with creators across multiple communities rather than just focusing on one sport. For example, one TikTok creator might film in a vintage Parramatta Eels rugby top, while another might be in a classic Socceroos 90s or a 90s cricket kit, giving us a broader cultural reach. Offline, we plan to host pop-up stores at live sporting events, ideally in partnership with a semi-professional or second-tier league, such as the NSW Premier Cricket Competition, National Premier Leagues in football, or Queensland Rugby League. These types of leagues are more accessible and for partnerships and still attract engaged local fan bases. At the pop-up stores, fans will be able to browse stock, enter giveaways, and scan QR codes to access the Retro Shirts app. Influencers will be present to film content and engage with fans, turning the event into a hybrid of live experience and digital activation. This blend of relatable content, multi-sport targeting, and accessible offline events allows Retro Shirts to embed itself in everyday Australian sport culture while driving both brand engagement and app traffic.
So this is our campaign for Saudi Arabia. So it has a young, fashionable, conscious population with growing interest in vintage streetwear, especially amongst urban and millennials and Gen Z. Our campaign will focus on building brand awareness through digital channels first, such as Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. We will use local influencers who resonate with Saudi Arabia's youth culture, particularly in cities like Riyadh and Jeddah. Cultural sensitivity is key, so our visual and messages will align with local norms, highlighting modest stylish options and sports heritage, which connect well with growing sports enthusiasm, especially around football. We'll also partner with local e-commerce platforms like Namshi or Noon to offer fast domestic delivery, avoiding international and shipping delays. Limited edition drops and collaborations with regional designers or sports fans will help communities create buzz and exclusivity around our products. Overall, this strategy for Retro Shirts is not just a clothing brand, but a lifestyle movement aligned with Saudi Arabia's shifting youth culture and passion for sports.